Good morning! Welcome to Lyon and Healy! Lyon and Healy's Harptacular event debuted in 2017. Since then, we have visited 12 cities across the United States, bringing pieces of our factory and showroom with us to share with you. It is unfortunate that we cannot welcome you to San Francisco in person today. However, we are delighted to share our presentation with you from our home right here in Chicago. Follow me and let's head upstairs.
Welcome to Lyon and Healy Hall and our Harptacular exhibition of harps. Here we display an impressive array of both Lyon and Healy and Salvi pedal and lever harps. Combined, we offer a selection of 52 styles of harps in premium, standard, and custom finishes, allowing harpists to find their perfect match for all of their artistic needs. Also seen here is our collection of antique harps, which are displayed in the hall year-round. This collection includes instruments dated back to 1890, all of which were built right here in Chicago.
A little later in our program, you will hear from our esteemed national sales staff, including Natalie Billick, Catherine Oliver, and Steve Fritzman. Stay tuned also for a technology workshop with Lyon and Healy's Music Publications Director, Dr. Jordan Chua, as well as a student showcase featuring some of San Francisco's finest young harpists. I encourage you to follow along with today's events in the program you received in your registration email. For those of you that didn't register, the program link can be found in the video description below. We begin today's programming with a performance presented by our guest artist, Mr. Emmanuel Ceysson. Emmanuel currently serves as the principal harpist of the Los Angeles Philharmonic and has previously held the same position at the Metropolitan Opera Orchestra and the Paris Opera. He is also a gold medalist of the USA International Harp Competition. His presentation, entitled A Day with Henriette, will feature a few of Ms. Renier's favorites and a few surprises along the way. Thank you so much for joining us today. Please pour yourself a cup of coffee, sit back, and enjoy Harptacular.
Hello everyone, bonjour, my name is Emmanuel Ceysson. I'm the new harpist with the Los Angeles Philharmonic, former principal harp with the Metropolitan Opera and professor at the Mannes School of Music in New York. And I would like to welcome you warmly to this special Harptacular with Lyon and Healy. I really wish I could have been with you today in San Francisco to present a live recital in your presence. But unfortunately, due to the current COVID crisis, we had to play things safe and imagine this virtual event. So instead of giving you a 1-hour filmed recital, I decided to spice things up a little bit and record a video blog or vlog about one of my favorite harpists of the past century, the great Henriette. I'm not going to share her biography with you because you can find all of this online, but in short, she was one of the most prominent ambassadors to our instrument in the past century. And she did that through her amazing virtuoso playing, of course, her composing and many transcriptions, and finally her lifetime dedication to many great students like Marcel Granjani, Mildred Dilling, Harpo Marx, and Susan MacDonald, amongst many others. So today, we are going to imagine a journey together through time and space, not to be taken too seriously, and we are going to try to focus on what I think are the four main sources of inspiration Henriette Renier put in her music. The first one was her love for nature and the outdoors. The second one was her admiration for other composers who she honored through her many transcriptions. Number three is her taste for literature and the fantastic. And finally, number four, and it's binding all of the precedings together, a very, very deep faith in God. So to do that, I'm going to go through some of her really well-known works, like the Legend, but also a lot of rarities that people don't really know that she composed. We are also going to have a special guest who had the chance to study with Henriette Renier during the last years of her life. And finally, I hope you are going to have some fun along the way. So without further ado, I give you a day with Henriette, une journée avec Henriette. See you guys.
Oh, the guys, it's still super early here in LA, and all the house is still asleep, so I guess the harp is still too calm. My red sunset. So I'm gonna hop in the shower and get ready for a nice hike up there. See you guys. So, as I told you in the introduction, I wanted to focus today about the different elements that have, I think, inspired Henriette Renier to write her music. And one of these elements, which in my opinion is an important one, is nature. First of all, you may not know, but she was an avid tennis player. She loved the outdoors. But not only that, I think one of the big reasons is that she had a family house in Étretat. So Étretat is on the north coast of France, in Normandy. It's a region which is famous for its apple orchards, but mostly for the D-Day, where the Allied force arrived on the beaches of Normandy to end World War II. Étretat is also renowned worldwide for its beautiful cliffs that overlook the English Channel, and apparently Henriette Renier's house was on top of one of those cliffs. That's according to our special guest today, the great Susan MacDonald, former professor at the Juilliard School and head of the harp department at the Bloomington Jacob Schools of Music in Indiana. She was kind enough to answer my questions over Skype a few weeks back. And so let's hear a little story she has to share about Étretat.
And for the second part of the summer, she and all of her students went to Étretat, where she had her lovely...
a summer house, basically.
Oh, yes, 3 étages, grand étage. So, and my chaperone went along with that. And I remember she would give the lessons up on the 3rd floor of that house. So I'd climb up the steps, and she was all the way up, and with a beautiful view of the ocean.
Yeah, so she had a house on the cliff. Was it on the
Very
cliff in
sunny, up on
Etretat?
the cliff.
All of this to introduce you to the first two works you are going to hear today, lesser known compositions of Henriette Renier. There are 1927 deux promenades matinales, two morning walks. So the first one, the title is Au loin, dans la verdure, la mer calme et mystérieuse, which roughly translates as far away amidst the green pastures or amidst the green, the sea, calm and mysterious. And then the second one, dans la campagne ensoleillée, la rosée scintille, in the sunny countryside, the morning dew glistens. So even if we are not in Normandy here, we are in beautiful California and there are lots of outdoors, and I just took you this morning to one of my most favorite spots, which is called Griffith Parks, for a little morning hike and to see the sunrise and maybe some morning dew glistening. I am not sure about that because it's a little too hot. So I wanted to share with you this bit of nature before starting our journey with Henriette Renier. And here we are back in the Harpmobile after this beautiful hike on our way to the ocean for the other promenade matinale, the other morning walk by Henriette. Au loin dans la verdure, la mer calme et mystérieuse. Far away, amidst the green, the sea, calm and mysterious.
So, these two pieces are called the morning walks, but they are not exactly a walk in the park, as you could see. And I was super happy to pick them because they are very rare, nobody knows them. And so it was the occasion for me to display works by Henriette that have a very different color than the one we are used to. For example, when we see the Legende, the writing, which was 1901, was much more late romantic influenced. And in these two morning walks, we have the color of Debussy and Ravel peeking through, and I think it speaks of the influence they had both on her. So in her lifetime, Renier was really interested in transcribing a lot of works. That brings us to our next subject. And first of all, I think she did it as a pedagogical tool for her students so that they could discover other music by other masters that were non-harpists. And the second one was maybe, I think, to broaden the repertoire. By doing this, she could bring interesting music to the audience and show the possibilities of the harp. So I picked 3 different transcriptions. The first one is a childhood memory for me. When I grew up, my sister was playing the piano at home, and she played Le Coucou by Louis-Claude Daquin. He was a French Baroque composer, so that's a Baroque piece, and when I saw there was a transcription by Henriette, I couldn't resist the idea to present it to you. The second one is the most famous transcription, Le Rossignol, the Nightingale, based on a Russian melody by Alexander Alabiev. First, Liszt, the famous pianist, transcribed it for piano, and then Renier took Liszt's work and made it her own for the harp. And finally, I'm going to finish with Les Myrtilles, the Blueberries. It's a transcription from a piano piece by Théodore Dubois. Théodore Dubois was a composer, French composer from the late 19th century, but he was also Henriette Renier's composition professor at the Paris Conservatoire. And I think it's a way for Renier to pay tribute to him and to also show a very challenging work, technically wise. Hi guys, and welcome to a brand new episode of A French Harpist in the Kitchen. So our way to honor the harpist of all times by paying them tribute through food. As we are honoring the beautiful and amazing Henriette Renier, we cannot go without speaking of one of her favorite places in France, this region which is called Normandy. Most of you must know Normandy because of the D-Day, but also Normandy for French people is a country with beautiful apple orchards and also a lot of milk production, so it's very famous for its cheese. And I read somewhere in a book, I don't remember which one, that Henriette Renier was very fond of cheese and would actually, after a morning practice, go outside and pick some cheese for lunch. Without further ado, let's start. The recipe that I picked today to honor our dear Henriette is crêpes normandes aux pommes flambées au calvados, which roughly translate as apple pancakes flambées with calvados. Calvados is a strong apple liqueur from France, so it's for 21 plus only, of course. So let's get going. We are going to start by sifting 2.5 cups of wheat flour. We add some French fleur de sel. So if you don't have fleur de sel, of course, you can substitute it with kosher salt. So it's a 1/4 teaspoon. And after that, we are going to add 4 large eggs. So then to this, we had 1.5 cup of whole milk. And to that, we are going to add another specialty from Normandy, which is hard apple cider. We have 2 regions, big regions that produce cider in France. There is Brittany, that's more kind of a bitter cider. And then Normandy, where the quality of the cider is a little more sweet. So I would use like a semi-sweet or a sweet cider for this recipe. And so why are we adding alcohol and hard cider to the batter? It's because some fermentation is going to happen to make the batter lighter. So here we are going to add 2 tablespoons of calvados. There you go. And you put it in the fridge to rest for a minimum of 4 hours, or if you can prepare it the day before, the night before, then all night in the fridge. It would be ideal. See you later, guys. And yet another perfect sunset in beautiful California. I love the light here, it's really nice. This particular ambience to it. Actually, it brings me to our next subject. The connection that Henriette Renier had in her life with the fantastic and literature. She was really, I think, a storyteller, inspired by some great tales, like The Telltale Heart by Edgar Allan Poe, and also, of course, in the legend by Les Elfes by Le Comte de Lille. Actually, I'm going to play that for you now. And then from Walter Scott, Lyon, the Last Minstrel, the Danse des Lutins, of course. So for us, it's more of a dance of the pedals, if you ask me, with like 200 changes in 3 minutes, but it's certainly worth it. Henriette Renier had this fascination for the fantastic and the bizarre, and I think Susan MacDonald has something to share about why she loved so much to tell stories. Let's listen to her.
You also have such a fascination for grim and fantastic stories. You know what I mean?
Yes, that comes from her family, because when they were during the war, her brothers, and they would read aloud plays. So every night there was no television, not much radio, I think, and that was their entertainment, was doing plays, theater pieces among the family. she was very dramatic in her gestures, in her life, you know, very strong and very passionate about things.
Yes.
And I think that comes from that early history with her family.
So,
you know, reading through all these plays, and they staged them in
yes. So because she was from a big family, you know, she had 4 brothers and she was the only girl.
It's really important to underline the influence that Henriette Renier had on many very famous harpists. Marcel Granjani was debuted by her, and he was admitted very young at the Paris Conservatoire, but they always kept a very close relationship even after he moved to the United States. Mildred Dilling, as Susan MacDonald says, was also very important in bringing her American students to study with.
Mildred Dilling was a key person in her life because she brought American students to study with Renier. She was the teacher of my teachers, and my teacher was pretty old herself, so this was amazing. And she had me play for her, Miss Ludwig, her name was. She had me play for Mildred some springtime of my junior year of high school. And so I took a lesson with her, and she said, oh, it was the most famous lesson she ever had, because then she said, oh, you must go study with my teacher, with this Henriette Renier. And so she got a chaperone for me, and I went by ship with a chaperone to ship all the way from New York to Paris. So it was a big adventure for me, outside of the harp even, you know. And I got off took the boat train then to Paris.
Of course.
And she had arranged for me to stay in a boarding house.
Okay. Because you were very young. Yeah.
Yes. So anyway, my first visit there was I come into the courtyard, you know, of 55
Rue de Passy.
And I came into her studio.
Okay.
There's a little foyer before her studio. And glass doors leading into the studio. So I went in and she was there, and always spoke French, always from the beginning, never any English at all with me. She said right away, you know, that she welcomed me and then said, do you like it? Do you love the harp? And I said, oh, oui, mademoiselle, oui. And she said, we're going to get along very well. Ça va.
Yes.
Ça va bien avec.
Miss MacDonald had to go all the way from the US to France by boat and do this expedition for several years in a row to meet her and learn from her method. That was an amazing way of speaking of the technique, of the flexibility of the wrist. Also, I think there is this word by Carlos Salcedo, who told that she was the best harpist on earth and in heavens too. If he thought this highly of her, it really means a lot. Anyway, I'm getting carried away. Let's get back to the music now. So as promised, I'm going to start with Légende and go on with the Danse des Lutins.
Welcome back, guys, after these two fantastic pieces. It's night time now, and I think it's also time for us to wrap things up and prepare to say goodbye. So we explored different aspects of Henriette Renier's inspiration, nature, literature, other composers that she admired, but I think all of this is connected by a very strong sense of faith in God. And a good person to ask about that is Miss MacDonald.
So this was her routine. She got up 6 o'clock in the morning, went to church, and then in Paris, particularly, she has a desk in her studio, and she would sit down at the desk then and write a devotional, a meditation after what she had heard in the Mass that morning. And in all of these, hundreds of these little notebooks are now in the library at the Brigham Young University in Nevada. It was, but we mostly, I would say, talked harp. She did speak to me a lot about her life, but particularly her spiritual life, you know.
Yes.
I think I told you the story that she said, I'm a Roman Catholic.
Yes.
Mildred Billing is a Christian Scientist, and you were a Presbyterian.
Yes.
But she said, Dieu connaît bien les siens. The Lord knows his own.
That's it, and that's what
So
matters.
very sweet and so very accepting.
Isn't
of a
it
Protestant,
fascinating
you know?
to
Yes,
think
I
that
know.
every morning Henriette Renier would wake up, go to Mass, and then come back at her desk and write about the sermon she just heard in church. A strong sense of faith like this almost got her in a convent when she was young, but she finally decided, instead of becoming a nun, to stay a musician and to share her godly gift, which was the music, with other people. She did it through her playing, through her teaching, and through her composing. And every day she was, in a way, giving tribute to her faith and to God. This all brings us to the last piece we're going to hear today, the Pièce symphonique, written by Henriette Renier in 1907. She actually composed it after the death of a close one. And the three episodes are very much influenced by the different steps that you find in grieving. It begins like a cry of pain when you just learn about the loss of someone you loved. And then is immediately followed by the first episode, the Marche funèbre, funeral march, that goes on and expresses the desolation you feel after such a traumatic event. It's followed by the second episode, an appassionato. And appassionato really is, when you are grieving, first you are in disbelief, and secondly you are angry. And I think there is a lot of anger in this appassionato, a lot of revolt against God, against what happened, against the facts. And this is very present in this second episode. And this is all suddenly interrupted by a beautiful phrase that I'm going to play for you now. And so these little harmonics, followed by a chord, introduce the theme of what I call transfiguration. This theme is going to change our pain into peace or into something with much more light in it. And the colors Henriette Renier uses in this part are for me very close to Wagner, and especially to his opera Parsifal, that is very much about redemption. And in the phrase that follows the Transfiguration theme, there is strongly an influence of Wagner and Parsifal in that. After that, there is a brief moment of revolt again, and finally Henriette Renier surrenders to her love of God and religion, and accept that there is an afterlife and that all is not so dark, and so she finishes the pieces in a true expression of peace and light, very strong and powerful. That's one of my favorite works by Henriette Renier, actually. So I wish you a good discovery of it, or a rediscovery if you know it already.
didn't believe I was gonna leave you out without dessert, did you? So here we go. The batter has been in the fridge for a few hours. It got a little bit thicker. We are gonna add to that about 2 tablespoons of melted butter. So we prepared our crepe pan. This one has a family history. It has followed me since my years at the Paris Conservatoire. But it's a special French pan for crepe because it has a very thin border. But of course you can use a regular pan for that. So we put about 1 tablespoon of butter in the pan and we're going to warm it up. And then we prepared a thinly sliced apple. Then there is a little brown sugar here and some more butter. Butter is about to change color, and don't worry because usually the first crepe is always a miss. Okay. Then immediately you can add a little brown sugar, few slices of apple, and then comes the interesting moment, the flipping. So that's usually for the first one. So that's surprise, but not this time. I did good. You add a little more sugar on top and a tiny bit of butter, not too much. And now we are going to prepare for the last step, which is flamber. So you take some calvados, not too much, around 1 or 2 tablespoons. Then you warm it up until it starts boiling. It's going to get a little dangerous, so you're going to want to take some distance. Okay, so now I'm going to light up the fumes like this and pour it down slowly on my crepe. Wow. So you wait until the fire gets out, and then you are just gonna try to fold your crepe, which can be a little tricky, like this. Et voilà! Alors of course, it's always a little better with a little whipped cream if you can, from Normandy. So that's for Henriette Renier, une crêpe normande aux pommes, flambée au calvados. Bon appétit, guys! Hey guys, well, after such a day playing such difficult music, I definitely need a good night's sleep. So, goodbye to all of you. Thank you for listening, and a big thank you to Lyon and Healy for their support and trust, to Suzanne MacDonald for accepting to answer my question and share a personal experience with Henriette Renier, and to my husband for his support and love. And voilà, I wish you a good night, bonne nuit, and see you soon. Ciao.
Emmanuel, can we come hang out with you in LA? That was so much fun! For those of you wishing you could ask questions, you are in luck. Stay tuned for our live Q&A this afternoon. You'll have the opportunity to ask Emmanuel and our staff the questions you need answered. Next, you'll learn about some of our beautiful instruments with highlights from our acclaimed national sales managers.
Hi, I'm Natalie Billick, and welcome to Harptacular. I work in harp sales, and as a harpist myself, I've had the pleasure of helping our customers find their perfect harp since 1981. Thank you, and I hope you're enjoying our event. Introduced by Lyon and Healy in 1928, the Salzedo model is named after legendary harpist, composer, pedagogue Carlos Salzedo. The first Salzedo instruments were a special design created in partnership with Polish-American artist and illustrator Witold Gordon. We made the first red Salzedo in celebration of our 150th birthday festival in 2014. Emmanuel Ceysson performed on this first instrument as one of the festival's featured artists. This particular shade of red is based on the colored pencil called Crimson Lake that Salzedo always used to mark his students' music. Emmanuel has made the red Salzedo infamous through his career, in part due to the harp's striking hue, but mainly from the Salzedo's power and depth of sound. The Salzedo model inspires fierce loyalty in those who prefer this distinctive instrument. Created in the Art Deco style characteristic of the 1920s, the Salzedo is marked by precise linear carving and geometric decoration in the hard maple column and base. This same style is reflected in the ornamentation on the uniquely angled Sitka spruce soundboard, which features hand-applied red and silver stripes. Its bold lines and angle create a striking and unmistakable profile, while its clear sound make it world-class. Restrained decoration on the solid brass action plates complements its design. The Salzedo is also available in natural and an optional ebony finish. The Salzedo comes with a tuning key, indoor cover, and a 5-year limited warranty.
Hello, my name is Catherine Denler Oliver. I joined the sales team at Lyon and Healy about 5 years ago. I bring my experience as a classically trained harpist and my enthusiasm for teaching to work every day. I look forward to connecting and assisting you in the future. The Una Professional Celtic Harp by Salvi Harps features a sophisticated and captivating design. This light tension harp has 38 strings, 1st octave C to 6th octave A. It is a portable instrument weighing 25.5 pounds and stands just under 54 inches in height. The profile of the Una and cool tone of the nickel-plated pro levers reflects a modern aesthetic with a nod to traditional sensibilities. The Una Deluxe features a hand-painted soundboard and 24-karat gold-plated hardware. Both the Una and Una Deluxe are available in green, mahogany, and natural finishes. The Una and Una Deluxe feature the unique silk gut copper strings from 4th octave B to 5th octave D. Silk gut copper strings contain a very thin metallic copper powder that smooths the typical difference in tone between wire and non-wire strings. The low register of the harp is resonant and rich, with a warm and clear tone throughout. The Una illuminates any lilting lullabies and rhythmic dance patterns of traditional Celtic music. The Una and Una Deluxe come with a tuning key, indoor cover, and a 3-year limited warranty. A transport cover with wheels is sold separately.
Hello everyone, and welcome to Lyon and Healy's Harptacular in Chicago. I'm Steve Fritzman. I'm a former master harp maker here. I now work in the repair and restoration shop. I also work in harp sales, so I hope to be able to assist you in the future. Enjoy Harptacular. The Lyon & Healy Premium Style 4 harp is based on a historic model that we plan to reintroduce to our standard catalog later in 2021. This unique Style 4 features a beautiful Sapelli Pommelé veneer with a grain pattern likened to champagne bubbles rising in a glass. This exotic veneer appears not only on the body of the instrument, but also on the neck, column, base, and baseboard. The veneered medallions on this column and base are framed with lemon gold over a surface that is applied with a stippling technique, giving them texture and dimension. With 23+ karat gold leaf gilding, its selective design is accented by surfaces left in a matte finish or burnished to a mirror-like sheen, most notable on its capital. A highlight of this regal instrument is its hand-painted soundboard design in 23+ karat gold with soft green accents. A Lyon & Healy antique pattern was used as our inspiration. The solid brass action plates feature richly engraved vintage designs. Adorning the plates are polished gold-plated discs and string nuts. As all our instruments in Lyon & Healy's premium collection, this Style 4 features an aged soundboard which has a unique miniature etching of a Lyon & Healy Concert Grand action plate design branded inside. A double rosewood inlay complements the solid Sitka spruce soundboard. Clear and resonant, it truly has the Lyon & Healy sound. The Lyon & Healy Premium Style 4 includes an ergonomic tuning key, dust cover, a transport cover set, and a 10-year limited warranty.
Introduced in the fall of 2020, the Drake is a light tension 34-string lever harp with a range of 1st octave A to 6th octave C. Built with hard maple and an Akume soundboard, the Drake's sound is bright and clear, yet resonant. The Drake offers an inspiring playing experience. It is suitable for the beginner of any age and is also perfect for those who prefer to play more traditional music. The Drake is just over 49 inches tall, lightweight at 22 pounds, and utilizes pro levers that are ergonomic and durable. You may have noticed the Drake's nameplate and cover feature its brand mascot, a dragon, known for being ambitious, full of vitality, and a little mysterious. Lyon & Healy Harps chose a marketing theme based on a new fairy tale. The Drake signifies a new beginning for our lever harp making. A new light tension model by Lyon & Healy has not been realized in 20 years. We are proud of our answer to the demand from harpists for this high-quality, low-tension instrument. The Drake is strung with the new-to-market biocarbon strings, which are made using a blend of a recently discovered bioplastic derived from sugarcane. The sound of these strings is a powerful and bright tone, with superior acoustic projection and sustain. Biocarbon strings are available at harp.com. The Drake is available in 3 finishes: natural, mahogany, and two-tone of burgundy and natural. The Drake comes with a tuning key, an indoor cover, 8-inch legs, and a 3-year limited warranty. A carrying case is available separately.
Thanks, guys! I hope you all just saw your next harp. For more information on any harps you see today or see on our website, please do not hesitate to contact us at sales@lyonhealy.com. Continuing on with today's programming, we welcome Dr. Jordan Chua, Lyon & Healy's Music Publications Director, in a workshop entitled Utilizing the iPad, ForScore, and Finale in the Daily Life of the Harpist. Dr. Jordan will demonstrate and explain the possible uses handheld devices and apps, such as the iPad or iPhone, ForScore Music Reader, and Finale Music Notation Software have in the daily and professional life of the harpist as educator, performer, and enthusiast. Without further ado, please help me welcome Dr. Jordan Chua.
Happy Harptacular! My name is Dr. Jordan, and it is my hope to demonstrate and explain the possible uses handheld devices and apps, such as the iPad and iPhone, ForScore music reader, and Finale music notation software have in the daily and professional life of the harpist as educator, performer, and enthusiast. In a world that is utilizing sleeker, cleaner, and greener options, both handheld devices and music software are tools that can make music education fun, effective, and efficient for both the student and teacher, and give an increased level of professionalism to performers and music enthusiasts alike. As a brief introduction, I have been a music educator for over 15 years, having taught in the classroom and currently a piano studio. Aside from working with Lyon and Healy, I am an active organist and music director in the Evangelical Lutheran Church of America, the Chicago Synod, as well as the Roman Catholic Archdiocese of Chicago, and direct the Coro Amici Community Choir of Wicker Park. Aspects of our conversation today are tools which I utilize on a daily basis and use to collaborate with other music educators. The purpose of this presentation is to look at what technologies are available for us. As musicians, we are or were students at one point, and we are also teachers, even if we do not necessarily teach in a classroom or studio. We have the opportunity and passion to share our music to the community and to the next generation. Music remains an art form, but the pedagogy and conversation continually evolve and grow. Technology is a friend to music. We are not promoting Apple products or particular apps, smart music, or individual sites. The purpose of today is to demonstrate that there are very accessible tools for musicians to teach, work, and play. I will present a survey of topics and tools related to music pedagogy and conceptual reinforcement. Questions are important. I would love to hear your questions during our Q&A, or you can email me at jordanc@lionhealy.com. First, I acknowledge that there are many different people watching with their many varying experiences with technology. Some are quite comfortable, others not so. No worries, we will all get to the point where we will ask a 14-year-old how to turn something on. It's inevitable. If you just recently replaced your Nokia 2100 for a cell phone that actually fits in your hand and are excited to learn new things, or you work every day with digital media and PDFs, but don't actually know what PDF stands for and won't admit it, that's okay. Awesome. Diversity is necessary and a wonderful gift. I'm going to go over a few key words that are basic to understanding our conversation. Many of you know these, but just hang tight for a moment. PDF. PDF stands for the Portable Document Format, used to display documents in an electronic form independent of the software, hardware, or operating system they are viewed on. So if I were to utilize PDF sheet music, I could view it on an Apple product, a PC product, or any viewable hardware or software that recognizes the PDF, which is mostly everything. Personal or handheld device. When I mention a personal or handheld device, I'm referring to a mobile phone or a tablet that is able to be easily transported around town to your gig, event, school, etc. A desktop computer is not normally considered a personal device, so an iPad, iPhone, Galaxy Tab, etc. are personal devices. Rule of thumb, if your device takes up 2 tables at your local Starbucks, it's probably not a personal device, or you may need to update your phone. App. The word app is an abbreviation for software application. It's a piece of software which comes pre-installed on your device, or it's software that you installed yourself. Apps typically run locally on your device. The difference between an app and website is that an app isn't directly accessible on the internet. Rather, it must be downloaded on a smartphone or tablet. Websites or web-based programs require the internet to function properly. Most apps have the ability to function on your device without the internet. The really great thing about apps and website-based programs is that they are constantly updated with new features, glitch fixes, and revised content. We are going to explore two basic tools currently available. We will look mainly at highlights of these possibly useful tools because of our online time today. We will touch on Finale, but focus on the usefulness of the tablet and digital sheet music, and an app using interactive music theory. Finale. Although we will not be going into too much detail with Finale today, Finale as well as Sibelius are great in creating templates for your students. You can also create sound samples and flashcards for exercises. Sometimes you want your musical edits and personal arrangements to be neat for that gig you have coming up, or for parts you created for members in your black tie ensemble or garage band. Finale is also helpful for testing certain passages when arranging or composing, especially with mixed ensemble music. Not sure how a flugelhorn works with your harp arrangement, or are unsure of how a syncopated or complex rhythm sounds? You can plug that into Finale and use it as a listening assistant to help model and compare. IMSLP, PDFs, and your tablet. There is a great repository of free music that is mostly public domain for a large majority of the world. IMSLP, or International Music Score Library Project, is a great resource for music scores, arrangements, and transcriptions. The drawback with using IMSLP is that the scanning of some of the music is dithered, or the music notational style is antiquated. Finale and other typesetting programs are great ways to create clean, crisp, and clear versions that you can use as a playback sample and as PDF sheet music in your music collection. Did you know your iPad and iPhone, if you use one, has a dedicated scanner feature on it in Notepad? And it works really well. We'll get to that in a moment. MusicTheory.net. MusicTheory.net is a great tool that is both free and accessible on both a computer or personal device if you use their web-based version. For a nominal fee, you can download the app for your phone or tablet so that it can be used without an internet connection. MusicTheory.net is a great tool for conception reinforcement for a class, a private student, or for your own growth as a musician. This program offers a host of exercises and abridged lessons from note naming, keyboard identification, and oral training. I always use MusicTheory.net with both my younger and adult students. The easy interactive nature of MusicTheory.net provides an on-the-go practice for commuters and a time saver for music enthusiasts. This program is one of the few accessible products that I utilize time and time again, and have found to be a great asset to my curricula. ForScore. ForScore is considered a leading music reader in the industry today. There are plenty of other readers such as Music, Adobe Reader, or any other PDF readers out there. What makes ForScore so attractive to me as a musician is its organizational function, ability to easily create and erase annotations and notes, share and collaborate with others, and the amazing concept and professional look of keeping huge amounts of music at your fingertips rather than carrying a binder or binders to an event or gig. We'll get into that in a moment. All right, so let's begin exploring ForScore Music Reader. I am on my tablet and my iPad, and I'm using an Apple Pencil to navigate on the iPad. Now, you won't be able to see the Apple Pencil, but I will try my best verbally to tell you what direction where I'm going on the screen. So we're going to go to the bottom of the screen to the bar, and you will see the ForScore symbol, which is like a forte with some fanciness there with a blue background. And so I'm going to click that. It opens up, and to the last thing I was looking at, which was the Moonlight Sonata here. And we're going to press onto the center. And you're going to see the options bars at the top. I'm going to go to the upper right, to that suitcase looking one. And you have these different categories of edit the score, add scores, and more. So you can see all these various options here. Annotate, you can actually write onto the piece and it'll hold on to it, hold on to your edits and annotations. Looking around here, rearrange. You can actually rearrange different pages in your music digitally. And scan, if you look down at add scores, you can actually scan scores that are in print. They come out quite well. More, you have piano, record, perform, all these here, other options. Piano does show a little piano here, and if you press, it gives you pitches. So if you are in need of looking up some pitch on the screen. And we're going to look at maybe one or two or three of these in a moment. So I'm going to stay in this area here, and I'm going to go to the top where the title Moonlight Sonata, page 1 of 23 is. I'm going to press on that. And what this does, it opens up the information of the music. So I loaded this up as a PDF, and I did title it Moonlight Sonata. That's about it. So when I start filling out this information of whatever you want, normally I would probably fill out title, composer, genre perhaps, if I had an interest in using this for a particular event. Tags, if that helps to organize, labels as some type of reference, a rating if that is something that you are working with as far as difficulty level or popularity level, and perhaps the time that you usually play it at, or it's normally listened to, or the key. And the key, for example, how I would use that is if we are in, let's say it's like C# minor, then I might want to, at a gig, play all these different pieces in C# minor, almost creating like a medley. And so what I can do is I can look up all the pieces easily by filtering key, C# minor. And so I'm showing you this first because, as you can see, if I labeled all those in there, which I really should, I haven't done that yet, but I went to the top left and hit this music note, and it's my library. And here you have composers, genres, tags and labels, all these different things which help organize your music. So because I am awful at organizing my music, I am going to go to no composers because I didn't put any composers in there. But you can see I have it organized alphabetically by title, or you can do it by the newest one you put that you uploaded into here, or by key. So that would be a great option for you as you start building your library and organizing. So I'm going to now go to the set list, and a set list is a great way for you to prepare music, to group it together so that you have pieces ready at a gig, an event, so you don't have to look through the library for all the pieces of music. Now I'm going to go to the 3 bars at the top, like 3 lines between the cloud and the book. And that's a set list. And we're going to make one right now just so you can see what I'm doing here. So I'm going to hit the add button at the top near the edit. So it's the top of this drop down menu. And it says name this set list. So I'm going to call it Harptacular. And I will spell it correctly. And so now I have a set list called Harptacular 2. I actually messed around with this. That's why there's a Harptacular 2. There's a 1. But this is great. So again, it gives you options of how you want to organize this. So now let's add some music to our set list. I hit the plus at the top, And that gives me then my whole library, so I can start putting things together. So let's say if we are doing a wedding, and maybe I want to do an Ave Maria by Schubert. Well, I can, if you can see it alphabetically, I click on Ave Maria, and it puts it over on the left. They are John Legend fans. Okay, I will choose All of Me. It pops up on the left. And Autumn Leaves for nostalgia. There. So I have these three pieces that I have now placed onto my set list. I can hit done. And now I have a Harptacular set list. So if I open up Ave Maria, I now have Ave Maria ready to go. And I've just finished Ave Maria. Then the next song would be All of Me. I go through that. The next song, Autumn Leaves. So as you can see, this becomes very, very helpful during a set list, during an event, so that you don't have to jump around. Now, what if I have, let's say, as a ecclesial musician, you might have a big old, scanned book of the service. So I have here, we'll use like Gather 3. And there are a whole bunch of pages here. So if I were to jump through this, there's about 2,597 pages. Now, as fun as it would be to go through all of those, I can create bookmarks. So I have done that already for the sake of time. And as you can see, I would bookmark a piece. So let's do that right now. 951. And I want to bookmark, so I'll hit the little book at the top left. And then it'll add it. And as you can see, it's right there, this one song. And then I can title it, and I will have it bookmarked. I'm not going to title that right now. You can see I have all these other pieces here, so I could hit that, ready to go. Let's see, I want another one from this particular book. Here we go, another title ready to go. So that is another helpful use. A really great one is the sharing capability, which if you go to the top right to watch me, I'm going to hit that suitcase again, and I can hit share. Now, the wonderful thing is, you saw that there were 2,000 plus pages in this particular PDF, but I bookmarked maybe in this song, 714, about maybe 4 or 5 pages. I can just share that bookmark with someone, if they have ForScore or not, as long as they have a PDF reader. Again, you want to be mindful of copyright issues, but if I were to send this to another of my devices, then I can send that over as a PDF, which is the top left, annotated PDF, which is the top right, which means that I put markings in it, and then, or as a ForScore copy, 4SC. Another great option that we have here is the button navigation, and I'll explain that in a moment. So what I'm going to do is put a button, a digital one, onto the music, and when I press that button, it's going to navigate me to wherever I want to in ForScore. I can go to another page in this piece of music, or I can go to another piece of music on a particular page in that piece of music. I know, the sky's the limit here. Okay, so I'm going to go to the second page, and we're going to pretend on the second page of Moonlight Sonata there is a repeat that wants me to go to the first page. So this button is great for repeats, for codas, for your personal cuts and edits that someone asked you to do 5 minutes before a wedding. Hey, it totally works. So I'm going to go to the top right where the suitcase is, and I'm going to see the button, or buttons button, which is third down. And this screen comes up, and the action I want is correct navigation. And you have these other options. We're going to go to the Go To. And where do I want to go to? I want to go back to Moonlight Sonata. I want to stay in the same thing, but as you can see, I can go anywhere to any other titled piece in ForScore that I have in my library. But we're going to stay in Moonlight Sonata. And the default is page 1. Great. So that's where we want to go, is page 1. So I'm going to touch with my Apple Pencil. Let's say near the end of the last system is the repeat. I'm going to press my hand near there, and I have then placed a button. Top right of the screen, I'm going to save. And now, this is our second page, our first page, right? This is where the button is. You can move that button around. So again, the purpose of this button is to navigate, and there are other options that you can use the buttons for, but this one, I want to now use it as a way to go somewhere. So we have asked it to go to the first page. So when I press the button, which I'm about to do now, it goes to the first page. And imagine if you wanted to go anywhere in your ForScore music library world, that is very possible. Very cool thing. So the last thing I want to go over here is the queue, a great feature in ForScore. And I'm going to open up the suitcase again, go down to More, and you see under More there's this queue, pressing that. And this comes up and says, queue allows one ForScore user to navigate and have nearby devices follow along automatically. All right, so let's say I have an ensemble and I am just really great at turning pages while playing, then I can lead. And if I choose lead here, the other devices, either iPads or ForScore devices, would have follow page turns, which you see below lead. And whenever I turn a page, their pages will turn in sync. Really great thing. I can't do it right now because I only have the one iPad, and you would not be able to see the other iPad. So use your mind's eye and imagination. So we have a really great option here through ForScore. Okay, let's get started with exploring musictheory.net. There's a lot here, just as in the other things, so we're going to just keep it to 4 different types of things you can look at. And as you can see on this front screen, we are on a web browser, musictheory.net. And it's just advertising or showing that they have apps. So we kind of know the difference between a website now and apps. Tenuto and Music Theory are 2 different apps that you can put on your phone or iPad. Really great. And what we're going to do now is see pretty much what those are on the web-based form. The nice thing about the apps is you don't need a internet connection. The website you will. So we're going to go to the top left where it says lessons. So we have lessons, exercises, tools, products, news, contact. We're going to look at lessons and exercises today. So lessons, let's look at what we see here as the basics. So we have the staff, clefs, and ledger lines. And what is it about? Well, it's learn about the staff, treble and bass clefs, and ledger lines. So I'm going to click on that. And we start with this graphic that allows a visual component to this, while there is a readable explanation at the bottom, which will coincide with each other. And it's nice. It's a fun little thing here for students and adults. And so I'm going to start the slideshow, and what starts to happen is, and it's at your leisure, so you can go back or forward as you manually would, and it's at the bottom. So As you can see, the staff is the foundation upon which notes are drawn. And then we're at the next one. The modern staff comprises 5 lines and 4 spaces. Something very simple. And it starts to show you different things here. So the highlight is where we're at. So every line or space on the staff represents a white key on the keyboard. And we keep them going down. And you see all these great, wonderful explanations with an animated graphic. Uh-oh, we just ran out of room to place notes. What happens now? Haha, ledger lines. And there we are. And so we have these nice animations here that does make clear the explanations in this box. And it just keeps going. And this is a nice reference resource for students and enthusiasts. So, you forget things, you can look back here. All right. So we're going to move out of this. We're going to go back home. So I went to the home screen. And we're going to try note duration. And the same idea here is you have an animation that coincides with the explanations that are highlighted. Here it says notes smaller in duration than a quarter note have flags. Each flag halves the value of a note, and we keep going. And now we learned. So that is a great resource. Now, a really wonderful, and you can see here, please feel free, this is free. So go and check this out, musictheory.net if you have not yet done this. Those of you that are entering into collegiate programs, a lot of these are helpful. Well, hopefully you know the staff and clefs. But when you go into scale degrees, solfege, triad inversions, and Roman numeral analysis, as you can see there, these are great helps, really great reference resources that is on your phone, and you don't have to really look around, but something that's nice and neat, like a little dictionary. So we're going to go to exercises now. At the top, we had lessons. Now I'm going to go to exercises. And here, we're going to look at particularly note identification. And so I'm going to press note identification. And it gives you, so I do have the Tenuto app, but we're going to keep using the web version because it's free. And so you can see that there is a score at the top, percentage that will be correct, as we'll tally that. And you have the problem given, A flat, right? And so we are going to choose A flats. Green, and there's a tone. So now you have a reinforcement occurring. Visually, I see A flat, pressed A flat, I hear the pitch A flat. Our next one is F, and I'm gonna hit F and we'll hear a tone. Haha. B flat. And I'm going to, for the sake of showing you this, I will say that's C. Okay, but yes, I'm gonna place that as C. We have red, no tone, right? So we are not associating that with the incorrect note. So we have C. Now let's do the proper, which is E. Okay, and it does it by octave, by register, so it's great. Now, as you can see, I have done 4 out of 5 so far, and you can increase that to how many do. I usually ask my students to do 100 and to get 100, so they can restart this at any time, and I'll show you that why this is such a neat thing. It's a nice tool for motivation. So 4 to 5, 80%. I'm going to go to the right, top right, where there's that gear wheel, the settings wheel, and I can customize this. I can choose, do I just want a particular clef, an alto clef, a tenor clef, or a grand staff, or just treble clef, bass clef. The range, I can adjust the range to wherever I would like by using the arrows. Positions, lines and spaces, maybe spaces only, maybe lines only for a beginner. Key signatures, do you want just everything natural, or things like that. Note names and helpers, that will, in a sense, give you helpers. We don't need that. So we're going to take that off. Do we want accidentals? We'll take that off. And then having audio, and animation, things like that. You have these choices. And a challenge mode, so a time limit or a question limit. And teachers, if you want, and multiple attempts, but teachers, if you wanted to use this for a classroom setting, this is the neat thing. So as I have done that, we're going to go back to this exercise. If I, the teacher said, okay, students, I want you to just do 5. Okay, and you can give me your best 5, but I just want 5. And so what they'll do is they will say, they'll email it to the teacher, or however you'd like to print it out, or things like that. Let's save a tree, we'll email it. And so I went to the 3 dots here in the top right, and I can have show progress report. And as you can see, it shows the total time it took me to do it. Perhaps, in total score, what type of exercise was given. And so this is something where there's accountability given to the student. So when they turn that in to the teacher, and it shows the teacher all the information of what was used. So, did they use helpers or not? Things like that. So this is a really, really, really great tool for teachers, as well as adults who really want to get better at, let's say, speed reading of notes. Or, if you're entering into a program where you need to brush up on particular things, we'll go back home. I'm going to look at the interval identification. And so this one here, I'm going to go back to the settings wheel, so you can look and see what customizations you can do here. Really, really wonderful. All that. Okay, so you have key signature, display mode, harmonic, melodic, or both. Let's try both. Let's do. Let's make it easier. For, let's say we did require. We didn't require the quality. Let's just see that. See key signatures. We'll take that off. All right. And what do we have here? So I'll do it correctly here. So a 5th. So again, no tone. So not to associate the tone with an incorrect interval. So we can continue on. Oh, all right. Got it right. So then the pitch is there. Now we can also change that pitch so that you are hearing melodic. And what do we have here? Same thing. Nope. Haha. Again, the pitch is given when it is correct to associate and reinforce the correct answer. And you heard, instead of doing it as a block chord, it did it as a melodic chord. Again, this is another very helpful tool for teachers.
Thanks so much, Jordan. That's great information that I know we can all put to good use. As part of our Harptacular event, we are pleased to offer all registrants a 15% off coupon from www.harp.com. You receive the coupon code in your registration email, and it is valid until May 10th. Please visit harp.com for all of your harp needs, including strings, music, and accessories. Now let's take a look at some of Lyon and Healy's outstanding sales programs.
Besides their own catalog of instruments, Lyon and Healy is the distributor for Salvi Harps of Piasco, Italy in the Americas. Lyon and Healy Harps and Salvi Harps are sister companies that distribute and service each other's instruments in different regions of the world. We offer various programs that make it easier for you to make your dream of owning a Lyon & Healy or Salvi harp a reality.
Our rent-to-own program provides aspiring harpists an affordable opportunity to purchase a new lever harp or petite pedal harp after a trial period. With an upfront fee, you can take the harp home to trial, and at the end, there is the option to either return the instrument or purchase it. If you do purchase, we will apply the upfront fee to the purchase price of the instrument. We also offer a standard lever harp rental program for those who prefer a flexible and low-cost option to begin at the harp.
Our bounty program is important for the beginning harpist that plans to progress to a pedal harp. We will apply the original purchase price of any new Lyon & Healy or Salvi lever or petite pedal harp that is less than 5 years old, in fair condition, and traded in by the original owner. This full credit is available towards the purchase of any new Lyon & Healy or Salvi pedal harp of greater value, such as the Daphne 47EX, Style 85CG, Apollo, or Style 23.
We also offer certified pre-owned or used lever and pedal harps. These harps are assessed and serviced by our team of technicians. They are sold with a limited warranty, so there is no question on value or dependability of the harp you are acquiring. Certified pre-owned instruments can offer access to Lyon & Healy or Salvi harps at an affordable price. Some qualify for our great trade-in programs as well.
Lyon & Healy Harps also offers financing through Allegro Credit. This specialty musical instrument financing company offers a high level of customer care and affordable monthly rates that make purchasing a harp a possibility.
Contact us and we are happy to explain any of these programs in greater detail and help you decide which is the best option for you.
Thanks again, Steve, Catherine, and Natalie. If you'd like more information on any of our programs discussed, please stay tuned for our live Q&A where Catherine will be available to answer any questions you may have. We will end our Harptacular video presentation with our student showcase. This is certainly a highlight of all of our Harptacular events, as it is our pleasure to encourage and support our emerging harpists. We are delighted to welcome 8 of San Francisco's finest young students to our Harptacular stage today. Wonderful job, and congratulations, everyone. Thank you all for attending our Harptacular today. We hope you enjoyed our presentation, and we look forward to welcoming you back to Lyon and Healy Hall next year. Don't forget to join us in just a few moments for our live Q&A on our YouTube channel. The link is found in the video description below. See you there!